Hello everyone, and welcome to week 32 for Xur. He is downstairs in the hangar by the jukebox that they added in the most recent patch, listening to some tunes. This week's inventory is, it's alright. It's alright. Starting at the bottom, we have pulse rifle, hand cannon, and shotgun telemetries. Level up those weapons faster. Plasma drive and void drive for those rare blue quality sparrows to upgrade. And 5 heavy ammo synthesis, as usual, for 1 strange coin. Titans. You get the Helm of Inmost Light. Stat roll is very high at 125, 3 off the maximum. However, that's probably not going to be a good enough reason to pick one up. This is a very low tier PvE exotic and a somewhat kinda maybe decent striker PvP helm. Increased melee attack speed is great, but reducing melee cooldown when picking up an Orb of Light is not. The main bonus gets you Death from Above and Headstrong for Fist of Havoc. In PvE, this is a non-factor. It's not really going to help you that much, if at all. It's pretty easy to get off a Fist of Havoc in a spot if you'd ever want a Fist of Havoc in a particular spot. In PvP, it's just some nice extras, but I don't think it's a massive game changer whatsoever. I would much rather use something like the Armamentarium for PvP. Not a good first exotic purchase. I'd say you could skip this one without much hesitation. Hunters get Radiant Dance Machines with a very high stat roll of 150 strength. You can carry more heavy ammo, great, with the main bonus being that you move more quickly while aiming your weapon. Now for PvE, I think these are also a non-factor, unless you really, really like the movement speed increase that they give you. But for PvP, these are a total personal preference exotic because they don't make you more efficient, they don't give you any bonuses, they just make you do a thing. And that thing has different importance for every player. Some people might value moving quickly while aiming very highly, with others not valuing it at all. A popular combo is to use these and Mida Multi-Tool in PvP for very, very fast movement. This is going to be a judgment call purchase. It all depends on whether or not the bonus sounds interesting enough for you in PvP. But for PvE, I do not put much value in these, if any at all. Warlocks. You get Void Fang vestments with a pretty high 155 strength roll. More hand cannon and special weapon ammo is going to be good, especially for PvPers, as hand cannons are probably the strongest PvP weapons right now, at least the exotic ones are. The main bonus gives you an extra Seeker on Axion Bolt, and when you respawn, you regen your grenade energy. These are fantastic for PvP, as Axion Bolt is very good in PvP right now, and any way to make it better and more annoying is definitely going to be welcome. Not to mention that the regenerating grenade energy is incredibly useful, maybe as equal to the enhanced Axion Bolt. For PvE, I would not use these over Obsidian Mind, but with a Bloom build, these are not too shabby. I think these are very much worth your time, solid pickup for PvPers and maybe for PvEers without an Obsidian Mind. The weapon of the week is the Last Word. This is a top tier PvP weapon, arguably the best PvP primary in the game right now. It has the fastest time to kill time of any primary weapons, if we don't include Thorn's ability to 2-shot headshot kill enemies, because that technically takes only about 400 milliseconds to fire 2 shots from Thorn, but then it takes a while for the damage to tick, yada yada yada. It is a powerhouse of a weapon being able to be fired in full auto. For PvE players, this is not really the best option in the world and is among probably the worst options for PvE because any other hand cannon will be able to replace it. For example, I would take most legendary hand cannons like The Fall Will Probably Kill You 1969, things like Thorn, things like Hawkmoon, before I would consider using the Last Word in PvE, simply because the need for full auto fire and rapid firing in general is not as important as accurate fire is on a hand cannon. Still, this is definitely going to be a purchase if you're any sort of PvPer or ever set foot in the Crucible. Also, you may want to stay out of the Crucible this weekend because these things are going to be everywhere more than they normally are. PvPers beware. this weekend. Chest engram, or body armor engram, is the engram of the week. Those looking for Heart of the Praxic Fire, maybe Lucky Raspberry, or the Armamentarium should take a gamble. Let's move to armor now. Hunters, you have Knucklehead Radar and the Symbiote. Radar with an okay 101 strength roll, and the Symbiote with a very high 125 discipline. Priority is going to go to the Symbiote, especially with a stat roll like that. Titans, you get Crest of Alpha Lupi and Armamentarium. Crest coming in at an average 139 int roll, and Armamentarium with an above average 148 roll. Priority is going to go to the Armamentarium, although if you're a big 3v3 PvPer, Crest might hold a little more importance to you. Warlocks, you have Heart of the Praxic Fire and Sunbreakers. Praxic with an above average 151 discipline, and Sunbreakers with an above average 105 intellect. Priority is going to go to the Praxic Fire, but either one would be fine as long as you're nabbing one of those stat upgrades, because those are pretty good rolls. Weapons of the week, we have Hard Light, Suros Regime, Red Death, Thorn, Plan C, Patience in Time, and for those of you on PlayStation, Hawkmoon. A lot of good PvE stuff here, to the point where the only thing I'm really going to say is put Hard Light in last place. You know, Hawkmoon and Red Death are fantastic, but so are Plan C and Patience in Time for those scenarios that they're very good in. Thorn and Suros are both still good, but not as good as Hawkmoon and Red Death, in my opinion. PvP priority, or I guess Iron Banner priority, is going to be Thorn, Hawkmoon, and Red Death. Plan C, Patience in Time, Suros, and Hard Light again in last place. That is your Xur for week 32. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.